especially from the defense perspective and the insurance company's perspective, our clients, people who've been in accidents, our numbers on a page.
If we end up going to a jury trial on some of these cases, which we do, we give a jury instruction to the jury on damages. What are the elements that the jury looks at in determining what they can award money for?
Obviously, it's the big one's always going to be your medical treatment and your medical bills. But like we had talked about before, your wage loss is another. Then there's the term everybody has heard, pain and suffering, which does mean your physical pain. So if you get up every day and now you're achy and that was not the case before, yeah, they can award money for that. Suffering, obviously, some people suffer and then other people feel just severe inconvenience. That's a great way of thinking of it too, because the inconvenience to your life is something that you should absolutely be compensated for, because this accident changed your day to day. And they can consider that, and they can consider testimony from your friends, your family during the trial that all speak to that. And that's good too, because a lot of times, especially from the defense perspective and the insurance company's perspective, our clients, people who've been in accidents, our numbers on a page. That's why I don't like that multiplier, that 3 times your medical specials or 2 times your medical specials. It doesn't really individualize the claim, because like I said, 2 people can have the same amount of medical bills and they're completely different cases. And as much as some of our clients don't like to go to trial, I've found that juries are pretty good about adding in those other elements of damages to get the big picture of how an accident's affected somebody.
Yeah, one of the elements is also loss of enjoyment of life. And I know you touched on that, but talk a little bit more about what that is and what the value of that is.
Yeah, so to give a very specific example, we had one case that went to trial where our client, he was in his 60s and he had grandkids. And prior to this accident, that was his, like he at that point, he was pushed into early retirement, but his dream in retirement was just to hang out with his grandkids, play with them, take them camping, hiking. He was a very outdoorsy guy. And after this accident, he could maybe be active for 2 hours at a time, and then he would find himself on the couch. That is not his idea of what an ideal retirement was supposed to look like. Could he function day to day? Yeah, for the most part, absolutely could. But that was not the life he envisioned for himself. That's not the life he wanted for himself. And it wasn't the life he was planning for himself. And if not for this accident, that's not the life he would have had. The accident took that from him. It's hard to quantify. And it's somehow unfair that you almost have to put monetary amounts on things like that. But it's definitely something that our clients deserve to be compensated for.